Hello everyone, I am Burger, and I'm here with another One Piece video where I will be talking about how strong is Big Mom. Now, this series I have made uses an alternative system for power scaling that measures a character's potential by how much effort they put into several categories of strength. If you want to see the video where I fully explain these categories and how they're used, check out this video here. I would like for this video to pop up multiple times in the video, but apparently you can't use the same video twice. Now, without further ado, let us begin discussing how strong Big Mom is. And now, keep in mind, everything I say from this point on is an opinion, and opinions are subject to change. So if you disagree with me on something, why don't you tell me what it is so I can take in that information and process it. The first category I'm going to be discussing is what I consider the most important category for captains and heavy hitters, and that is the strength/willpower category. Now, this category includes both strength and willpower, because I feel like in One Piece they are the same thing. I go into this in detail in the video I mentioned earlier. Strength and willpower are the same thing. Briefly, I'll explain. Because we never see Luffy work out ever, yet he seems to get stronger and stronger. And numerous times in the series, the fights he goes through and the challenges he comes across are portrayed as feats of willpower. So, his willpower is getting stronger as the story goes on. So it really matters how strong someone's willpower is for how strong they are. Big Mom undoubtedly has a 3 in this category. I am pretty sure of this. Her willpower is so strong that she can walk through the earth. Now, remember, this system scores how much potential they have, and Big Mom is basically at the maximum of her potential. She's getting on in years, but she is so strong that no one has ever seen her bleed except for weird circumstances, and those weird circumstances were not so easy to exploit, as Luffy and Beige learned during the wedding assassination plot. Her willpower is so strong she could defeat powerful giants at the age of 5, which appeared to not be something Luffy could do in Little Garden. I'm pretty sure he couldn't. When the giant lifted up that mountain and set it on top of him, and then it turned out that that mountain was actually a sea monster that the guy killed, I'm pretty sure Luffy couldn't have killed that sea monster at the time. So I think it is pretty clear that she is so strong that it is scary and insanely willful, that when she wants cake, she's gonna get that damn cake. She's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. And now on to category 2. So as you see on the screen, strength plus willpower is a 3. And it has always been a 3 for her. Next is devil fruit usage, which I think is also a very important category. Depending on the devil fruit and depending on how high your score is in this, you may not need any willpower. There are villains that Luffy has fought who clearly have no willpower at all, or very little, maybe just a 1 in the category, yet their devil fruit usage allows them to take on Luffy. Examples, in my opinion, of either low or no willpower characters with very high devil fruit usage that gave Luffy trouble are Gecko Moria and Wobble. Wobble to a lesser extent, obviously. Big Mom's devil fruit usage is exceedingly clever. Not only does she go around stealing the souls of everyone who crosses her, and making strong homies. She said specifically that she tries to make strong homies, but she takes attacks from her citizens in order to make even more homies. Now, maybe it's not the best idea to just eat these homies with her power to suck out people's souls and put them in inanimate objects. Maybe it's not the best idea to eat them, but the way she uses them is very clever. And the way she put her own soul in a sword hat, a ball of fire, and a cloud for elemental powers is also very intelligent. She basically does everything she can to get more soul juice, and that is why, and she puts it in a very wide variety of things, in boats, in tanks, as we saw, in random objects, in toy soldiers, in cracker soldiers, just so many things that it's just very intelligent the way she uses it. So undoubtedly a 3. And now on to her next category. And this category I'm not quite so sure about, so I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on this category. And this is the tactics category. And I'm going to give her a 3 in this category. But hold on just a second, and I'll explain my reasons, and if you disagree with me, please tell me, as I am most subject to change on this category, because this is the category I'm least sure about. So please tell me if you think I'm wrong, in a polite way, and I will probably listen to you, because I'm not quite so sure about this. So, a 3 in this category is if you're capable of creating a grand master plan, like how Law created a grand master plan to kill Kaido, how Blackbeard created a grand master plan to kill Whitebeard, how Akainu created a grand master plan to weaken Whitebeard's forces, and how Cracker created a grand master plan to deceive the world government to his appearance and to trick everyone of the nature of his devil fruit. These are all exceedingly clever things that it would take some serious intelligence to do. And I'm not quite sure about this, but I think Big Mom is capable of these things as well. First of all, she did plan that red wedding. The red wedding where she would murder royalty. Now, did she actually come up with this plan? I'm inclined to think yes, although we've certainly seen other intelligent members of her crew. And if not for this, she's very good at manipulating resources. She uses her fear that she can inspire to get people to bring her valuable items and resources, and she then collects those resources. She expects people to pay taxes to her in clever ways using her fear, carrot and stick tactics of protection/death. I think this is worthy of a 3. If it's not a 3, I would say it's a 2. If you ever seen anything that makes you think that she's not quite this intelligent at her best, then I would like to hear you say it, because then I would bring it down to a 2. So, I'm gonna say 3, but that is subject to change. The last category I'm going to talk about is the category she has by far the worst score in, and that is skill/senses. She is not a skilled fighter. She may fight with a sword, but most of the time she fights with her hands. And when she fights with her hands, she doesn't appear to be using any sort of impressive martial art, the way Ivankov, Mr. 2, Jinbei, Koala, Sabo, and many other characters do. She doesn't seem to have any skill with that sword. She seems to rely on strength with the sword, which is a viable tactic. And she doesn't seem to be particularly skilled with her hands in martial arts either. However, she was shown to be blocking with the correct part of the arm when she used Haki to block Luffy's attack, so she does know the basics of martial arts in combat, and she's skilled enough to block Luffy's incredibly fast attack, so I would give her a 1, that she has the bare minimum requirement to be able to use these skills at all. That's what I would say. And I'm also subject to change on this one. If you think that she used a particular skill that you think was particularly difficult that doesn't fit into any of the other categories, I would like to hear it referenced, and I'm subject to change on this, but I don't think she's all that skillful and has really strong senses. It's more of relying on strength, devil fruit usage, and her tactics to lure prey into her traps. And that is it. That is all 4 categories of Big Mom's strength into 4 categories. Now, if we're going with the best option, you'll see that she has a score of 10, the same as Luffy. And, she might actually have a 9, hypothetically. And as you see here, the reason she is so much stronger than someone who might have the same score as her is just that she managed to get further with her potential. Because this system is designed to work at any point in the Grand Line. So even though Rob Lucci or Cracker might have a similar score to her, but they're never going to get anywhere near as strong as her. Maybe, we don't know. The story isn't over yet. She has a final boss ring to her, whereas those other characters were either underlings or earlier characters. So, that's the case with that, and that is why someone might have a lower score than her, or a higher score than her, and still get further. It's all part of my system. Trust me on this. And now I'd just like to talk about why she didn't reach her maximum potential. She has gotten into old age, she hasn't reached her goal of becoming Pirate King. That was her goal, she stated so. Why would someone with such a great score not become Pirate King? And this is a segment I'm going to add to characters who seem to have reached their maximum potential. And for Big Mom, the reason is that she just had really bad priorities as a result of her insanity. She's really crazy, and that keeps her from having the correct priorities. If she prioritized adventuring and collecting poneglyphs herself instead of sending other people to do it, she would have become Pirate King. If she had used sneaky tactics to steal stuff from Kaido and went around herself continuing to search for the poneglyphs, never giving up, then she could have become Pirate King. That's what I think, at least. Because she's pretty strong, so why is she not Pirate King? Well, there's a reason for it, because the Pirate King doesn't need to be the strongest person, the Pirate King needs to be the person who achieves the goal, and that means that there are many skill sets that they need, and she just lacked those skill sets, because she's crazy. That she's like, I want cake, and I want to sit here in my orphanage and wait for Mother Caramel. And because of those priorities, she didn't achieve her goal of becoming Pirate King. So I really like this segment I just did. I'm probably going to do it more often when I talk about Katakuri and Cracker. I'll probably do this segment. I did want to talk about Cracker because I don't hear people talk about him, and in a positive light as often. Maybe I'm just not hearing it, but I've got some positive thoughts about him that I would like to state. So I'll probably make a video about him. So I'm also going to make a video about Rob Lucci, ricotta curry, cracker, and I don't know who else I'm going to do. I'm also going to do some of those devil fruit potential videos. There are a few more devil fruits I'm thinking of that I just feel like are not used to their maximum potential. Well, that's going to be for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Remember, if you've got anything to say, I'd love to hear it. Well, go ahead and leave a comment. I'd be very happy to hear what you have to say. That's it for today, everyone. Bye!